Hello viewers and welcome back. I'm TexasTuberTim. Thank you for coming back to visit us. We are going to do another stream today. That's unusual for me. I had an interesting Sunday. I woke up and realized that we had to go and see the Daisy May, the turnip lady. So I did a stream on that, and then right as I was wrapping that stream up, I ran into this guy named Red. And I thought, well, we got to do a stream on that too. How you doing, Dylan and Meowie Gamer? Welcome back. So, my name is TexasTuberTim. I am working on a playthrough series of this game. You can get access to the playlist and see everything from the start if you're interested. If you're just here to learn how to buy art and keep from buying a forgery, then you're in the right place because that's what we're talking about today. So, with that out of the way, we'll get right into it. First thing we got to do is find Red. There he is right there. How convenient. So this is Red, and he'll show up probably sometime around game day 7. And we're going to initiate a conversation with him. And basically he's going to sell us some art. And we want to buy the art. And what this is going to do is get him to come back in the future. He'll show up in a little boat. But at that point, it becomes kind of this game of figuring out what we should or shouldn't buy. So his first offer is to buy a painting for $498,000. We're going to decline that. And then, surprisingly, his price will go down substantially to 4,980 bells, I believe. He calls it the cousin discount. And we are going to buy that. Dylan says, I'm just here to watch your content. Hey, thank you for coming. Welcome back. So basically what's going on here is this guy sells art. He sometimes sells real art and he sometimes sells fake art. And we're going to talk a little more about that in a minute. But he usually shows up in this boat, which is at the back of the island. Okay? So we have purchased the first piece, and I believe that, oh yeah, so he's going to put that in our inventory the first time, but in future purchases it's going to go to our mailbox, and we'll have to go check it the next day. And what we'll do is, just so everybody will know where it is, I'm going to run up here and show you where the boat docks. So you'll go to kind of to the top in the middle of your map. And I can see the smoke in the back there. And that's Red's boat right there. So you can see where I am on the map. It's basically right in the center of your map at the very top. And that'll be useful later on. But the first day you can only buy the one piece. At least I think that's the case. Let's, just for giggles, let's check and make sure I'm correct on this. I don't think we can get in the boat today. I may be wrong. Oops, wrong one. So we can use the ladder here. We may put a ramp in here later on so we don't have to navigate this. Oops. And let's see what happens when we knock on the door. Yeah, I don't think we can get in here today, and that's okay because we've already bought the piece of art that we can buy today. And you're only going to be able to buy one per day. Okay, so the question is, what do I need the art for? The answer is that Blathers, right around the time that this guy shows up, Red shows up, Blathers will tell you that he's wanting to add an art wing to the museum. So you can buy that art from Red and use it to fill out that section of the museum. Dylan says, no, you can only get when Red is in. Wandering the ship is close. Okay. Yeah, so as Dylan pointed out, you can't just wander on the ship. You got to kind of check with Red first. So it's really that simple. Now, what I'm going to show you here is a tool I found online Where did you go, tool that I found online? Right here. And I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Give me a second to do that. Because we're here to help you find all the stuff and things that will help you be successful in this game. So that's the link to this page that I'm getting ready to show you. And then let me switch over here. This is an article that was written by Polygon, or on the Polygon website. So if you go down here, there's a section that shows real versus fake and what the subtle difference is. Like with this first one here, there's kind of a little shadow or dark patch right on that animal's nose. And in some cases, they don't have a photo, or they say the artwork is always going to be genuine. In this case, you really have to kind of zoom in here, but this one has like a star earring, and this is more like a ball. So they're very subtle differences in some cases, but this is how you know whether something's real or not. And when you get on the ship, he's going to have 4 pieces of art. You can only buy one, and you've got to just kind of examine these closely and figure out what's real and what isn't. And you'll also have 2 items for sale that are not really art related per se, but you can buy those as well. Okay, so if you have any questions on that, let me know. You can go to www.TexasTuberTim.com. You can get to all my links. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord, Instagram, all the things. So you can reach out to me and ask any questions that you have relative to this. I'd be happy to answer those. And we've quickly grown a community of very helpful people like Meowie, Dylan in the Discord. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to get help or be helpful to others if that's something you're interested in doing. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to visit about is fishing. We've done some fishing for the purpose of getting the Nook miles, and that's kind of the focus of this playthrough, because the reality is if you've got bells, then you should, if you're playing the turnip market, which clearly we did this morning, you should have more than enough bells. What you're going to be missing or needing are the Nook miles, and that's the focus of what we're doing in this playthrough. But today I wanted to talk a little more about fishing. So we talked about the clams in a previous episode. You go along the beach and there'll be these little water spouts, and you dig those up and you'll get a manila clam, and then you can craft that into fish bait, which are these ones. So we're going to grab that, and I'm going to make sure I've got my fishing pole, which I don't. I'm glad I checked. Well, we only have one. All right, so we need to craft another fishing pole real quick. For that sturdy fishing pole, we should need twigs and iron. And if it's your first time here, I always walk around with 2 of everything, because inevitably what happens, we got to make the flimsy one first. Inevitably what happens is one breaks, and then you got to run all the way back to your house to get a replacement. So rather than mess with that, I always just have a second one handy ready to go. This is especially useful if you're doing any traveling to mystery islands, because when you get to a mystery island, there's not always the materials or the things you need to make a replacement. Okay, so we got a second fishing pole, and I'm not going to reorganize all this, but I am going to get this stuff out of my inventory. Yeah, we'll take this 2 bladders on the way. So what we're doing here is we're specifically trying to catch the bigger fish in the game. And to do that, we need it to be at the dock at the southwest or lower left corner of your map. But first, let's duck in here and see if Blathers wants this piece of art, which he will. We've done a lot of things off stream that I'll talk about as soon as I get this done. So we tell him we found a piece of art. Let him have that. And I think this first one is always a genuine piece. but in the future that won't be the case. In fact, in my last save, the second one I bought was a fake. Okay, so we gave him that. We can run down to the dock now, get some fishing done. Meowie and Dylan, what's the coolest fish you've caught in this game? So again, southwest or lower left corner of the map is where this dock or pier will be located. So what we do is we scatter food, and then we need to have our fishing rod ready. And what you want to do after you throw the food is you want to come back to the 5th plank right here. That's the sweet spot to be standing on to throw your lure. And I had a pretty good idea that wasn't what we were looking for based on the shadow. We're looking for a really big shadow. Some people call it the size 6. That still looks like a 5 to me. Meowie said he caught the angelfish. Dylan says he caught the coelacanth. Yeah, that's a cool one. It's a really big fish. And we could catch that here. So basically what this fish food is allowing me to do is make the fish respawn instantly instead of having to wait and come back. Here at the dock, this spawn point, if you will, for fish doesn't naturally spawn. You have to throw the food out more times than not. What are you trying to catch? Water? That might be a 6. So interestingly enough, oh, I was talking instead of focusing. Interestingly enough, my wife, who also plays this game, she started in the southern hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, you'll have different fish and insects at any given time than the people in the northern hemisphere. So that's something worth seeking out, is finding a friend in this game that's in the opposite hemisphere from you, because you can more quickly get all the bugs and fish that there are to be caught. And I mention that because she has sturgeons all over the place. On her island, she's got all kind of sturgeons, and I've not yet seen one on my island. So this is just a bit of a grind here, and hopefully here we'll get a... That could be it. Let's see. And I get quiet when I'm fishing because I'm listening for the sploosh. I use the sound as a cue, not the visual of the bobber sinking. And I'm way better, more consistent catching than that way than I am when I watch the bobber. So interestingly enough, I used to keep fish in an aquarium. At one point I had a 150 gallon. That might be the one we're looking for. Could be a sea bass. Yep. But I used to keep a 150 gallon aquarium in the house, and I had all kind of fish, including angelfish at one point in time. Very cool fish. So this is the way it works. You just kind of dealing with random luck in a lot of cases. What are you doing? And this is why I try and bring at least 20 bags of that food with me, because you can use it up pretty quick. Why are you going way over there? You gonna make me chase you down? Yeah, you are. fishy, fishy. Dylan says, yeah, that's right. The tarantulas and the scorpions are also kind of on a different cycle and seasons and things like that. For anybody who hasn't watched a whole lot of YouTube Live, one of the weird things that's streaming this is there's something like a 20 or 30 second delay between when I talk and when y'all hear me. And I know it could feel like a lifetime waiting on me to answer your question. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to respond as quickly as I can. And then there's always moments when I'm streaming and I'm looking at 3 different screens trying to keep track of everything going on. That's what I needed, another sea bass. Thank you. All right, we'll finish up this bag. Then we'll move on to something else. I've already caught that one too, although those are fairly valuable. Pretty good for resale. That's definitely not what I'm looking for. So yeah, if you're new to this game or you're just trying to meet other people that play it, join a great community, that kind of thing, consider dropping into the Discord. Let me drop that in here for you. Some really good people in there so far, including the one and only Meowie Gamer and Dylan. Trying to grow that community around the idea of helping others. And I've got something I forgot to show you earlier. We've got a thing we're doing to help with trading. Okay, so we're going to try one more cast, and then we're going to move on to other stuff because I know you got better things to do than watch me not catch what I said I was going to catch. I doubt that's it. Okay, so no luck today, but that's basically it. Make yourself a lot of that fish bait. Come here and just do it over and over again, and in due time you will catch the fish you're looking for. You want to make sure you pay attention to the Critterpedia, or there's other apps you can use online to do this. Of course, if you've never caught it before, it's not going to give you the information you need to know about how to catch it. There's another app you can put on your phone that will help you out with that. Dylan says, I think the sea bass are just the only fish I keep on catching, but at least I can get money. That's true. That's a good positive way of looking at it. All right, so I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to show you something new we've done right here. So this fenced-in area here, all this stuff is going to be up for grabs to anybody in my Discord who's also a YouTube subscriber. At some point in the streams, I'm going to let y'all know that this area is open, and y'all will get into the Discord. And you're specifically looking for the section, let me make sure I tell you the right name. Yeah, it's in the subscribers only section. It's called ACNH Trading, TRADING. And so when I let you know I'm opening that area up on a first come first served basis, I will send you privately the dodo code so you can get on the island and have a look at this stuff here. So if anybody's in the Discord and is already subscriber status, you can drop a note in there. I will open this area up. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming today, but I'll open this up. And Dylan, I need to go make you a, well, you're not online in Discord right now, but I need to update your status to give you that subscriber role to where you can get into this special channel that's only available to my subscribers. Okay, so that's something new we're doing here. And then we've also, I've got, well, this area here is just some things I'm doing. I'm going to close this fence off when I open up the channel or the island to other people, because this isn't meant to be a giveaway area. This is just my efficient way of getting stuff. So let's run back up here real quick. I want to talk to Red again, see if maybe we can go see the ship. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. All right, so at this point, what I want to do is I'm going to get back into, and by the way, if you put something in Discord and I miss it, don't hesitate to let me know in the YouTube chat, because I'm flipping screens trying to keep track of a couple different things. So we're going to get back to the playthrough part of this, and we've got a couple things that have happened since I streamed, did a playthrough stream, and a lot of that's happening right here with Tom Nook. Okay, so he now runs what's called the construction consultation counter, and he does a couple of things here. First and foremost, as before, we can talk about the house. So once this counter's open, among other things, you can build bridges, you can build ramps or stairs, and you can also move your house or buildings. And at this point, we want to expand. And he's going to point out the fact that we have an outstanding loan balance. And because I just spent all my money on turnips this morning, we can't do this right away, but I want to kind of let you know that this is on my radar of things that we need to do. The other thing we can do is we can go here to infrastructure. No, we don't have KK Slider yet, but that's coming soon. We can talk here about infrastructure changes, so we can do bridges and inclines, which we can't afford just yet. And we can also change our layout, meaning moving buildings around. So those are two things that are on our to-do list for future playthrough episodes. Most likely after we've sold the turnips that we bought this morning, probably in a couple, 2 or 3 days. So I'm going to guess between now and then there'll be a lot of just kind of open time, including chances to come visit my island. We may do some more showcase trips. Dylan, I don't think you've heard me say this before, but select viewers will get chosen to have their island visited by me while I'm live on stream, so you can kind of show us what you've been up to on your island. So this lady, what's her name? Isabel? She's kind of the customer relations person. So if there's a visitor you're unhappy with, you can talk to her about that. And she will also eventually get to a point where she will kind of coach you on what you could be doing to make your island have a higher star rating and ultimately get KK Slider to come visit your island. So that's something else on our list. Now, I think if we'll go back here and ask him what should we do, I think he's going to tell us soon enough that we can help him to get KK Slider to come as a visitor, which will kind of, yeah, here we go. Popular musician KK Slider, get him to come do a show on Texas. And he's going to kind of lead us through a series of tasks to get this guy to come to the island, which is kind of a major milestone within the game. All right, so he's a good sidetrack talking about KK's household name. And I think the first thing he's going to do is ask us to place a campground. So this is something else that we need to work on in the coming days. So he's telling us about Project K. You need to build more houses. Yes, yes, I do. He's going to talk to us about that as well. So we'll have to build more houses. We'll have to build a campground. And then I think we also have to get up to a 2-star rating before we can get this guy, KK Slider, to come visit and do the concert. So I think he's given us the recipe to make the campsite. So that's basically what's going on here. We're not going to be able to pay off the debt on the house anytime soon, but I would point out, if you'll put your early game money towards turnips and growing your money, you're going to have more than enough money to go around. You're going to quickly get to the point where you can do all of the house upgrades you want, buy basically anything you need. In fact, if you're playing the turnip market weekly and you're following my guide that I put a video together, I've also got a blog article on my website. If you're following that guide weekly and investing somewhere between, say, $1 and $2 million in the turnip market and selling it at the right time, you're going to have more than enough money in this game. Bells are going to become simple, laughably simple. Okay, so we've got this recipe. Let me check the Discord real quick, see if anybody wanted to pop in. Not yet. Okay. So we've got this recipe to make the campground. We'll need all the woods and iron, which we have. One thing we've been doing daily, whether we show it on the video or not, is we go around and collect all the rocks, all the wood, collect all the fossils. That's something you should do daily, especially early game, at the point where you've got just loads and loads of wood. Like I'm starting to have quite a bit now. Got 2 rows just of regular wood. Then you could maybe kind of back off a little bit and do a little less of that. But all these materials will definitely come in handy. And if you end up with too much, you can just craft a bunch of stuff and sell it. Remember, a crafted item is worth double what the individual materials are worth. So we'll build this campsite kit, and I have an idea where we might put that. We don't need to carry all this around. And then I suppose we could swing by Blathers, make sure none of those fish are ones that he's looking for. I'm pretty sure they're not. But when I have that many bugs and fish in my inventory, I go ahead and swing by just to make sure. So I'm thinking up here would be a good spot. A little bit in the corner, maybe kind of right in here. Just to kind of get it out of the way. One of the things we're dealing with this particular island is that river alignment is not ideal at all. And I plan to straighten it out later on. I think this is as good a place as any. I think we're going to have to move stuff around. It's just kind of the way it is. Meowie says, I'm done watching for now. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Glad you could stop by. I hope you have a great Sunday. And I appreciate you swinging by. Oh, wait. We need the fancy axe. Yep, we got to save up a lot of miles. Right now, we have almost 60,000. Our goal is to have 200,000. I know you recently discovered us, but that's kind of the focus of what we're doing right now. My first, my previous game, I had roughly 120,000, and in this playthrough series, I'm hoping to hit 200,000. That looks pretty good. Let's just put it here. Dylan's headed out as well. Hey, thank you, Dylan, for stopping by. I appreciate you. So there we go. That's simple. So this, I think, is going to be a good place to stop. We've still got some things we've got to do with regard to the various tasks that Tom's got. We've got to get some money so we can do some bridges and inclines. We've got to get the houses built. We've got to get the KK Slider concert. All these kinds of things have got to happen. And a lot of that stuff takes money. So it may take us a couple days because we just made a major purchase with the turnip market, and we're a little short for cash at the moment. But that's okay, because when the turnips are sold, we're going to have, I would estimate, we would have about $3 million. So there was one fish in there that I thought he already had, but he didn't. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Dylan says, oh, he's just saying goodbye to Meowie. Okay, I got you. So you never know. Sometimes you lose track of what you've already donated and what you haven't. And then we'll run down here, and I'm going to sell all the rest of the fish just to clear up a little space. And then I'll show you, Dylan, what my big strategy, I guess, is for Nook Miles. I'm going to give you all my fish. Dylan, were you interested in getting in the share pile over there in the fence? We can open that up if you're interested. I'm going to do that later. Okay, so basically, Dylan, this is what I'm up to. And you've been playing this longer than I have. I can tell by how far you are in the game. But you had the Nook Miles Plus area, which is this area up here. And this is my area of focus. When I'm playing the game, I'm always focused on knocking out these tasks. And as I do those tasks, I occasionally get one of these bigger cards. And basically, I just grind against the Nook Miles Plus because that's how I get the bonus. And I'm trying to get as many of these Nook Miles as I possibly can. Dylan says I got spare fossils. Hey, that'd be great. Let's see, you're in the Discord, right? Oh, I'm at to run down to the airport and open the gate. So we're going to run down to the airport and open the gate up for Dylan. If there's any other subscribers in my Discord, in the subscriber-only channel called ACNH Trading, just go into that in that chat and say me next or something like that, and we'll work you in the rotation. So Dylan, if you would fire up your Discord, or your Twitter, tell me which, because I had to shoot you a private message. I'm not going to put the dodo code in the YouTube chat. So we're doing online play. We can do Twitter because I know you're on there and you're fairly active there. Okay, so we're going to do dodo code, and now it's when I need to, let's see, let's just switch over here. So that's my Discord while I'm putting my top secret dodo code up on the screen. But this is the channel I was referring to. So if you're in the Discord and you're a subscriber, and you have to let me know so I upgrade your status, then you'll see this part of my chat, and you'll be able to get into special things that we do on the streams. So we need, yeah, anyone? Hello? Okay, so the dodo code is? Everybody get that? All right, now I gotta pop over here. Go to the Twitters. Okay, Dylan, check your Twitter. So it's that simple. Because we're all about helping others, but we're also about rewarding the people that are helpful in our community. So, Dylan, just to be clear, it's this area only. Don't run up there and grab my fossils and other stuff like that, but help yourself to anything you want in here. And I'm going to probably, as we get a couple people in here to visit the island, I'm just going to grind on my Nook miles a little bit. So we got to visit two the neighbors. I think we already talked to him today. Sprinkles out. Yoo-hoo! And sometimes you'll get lucky here in the, yeah, here we go. They're at the workbench. So you'll get a free recipe card out of this. Hopefully, give me the card anyhow, and then give it to my viewers. Thank you. So we got another card to stick in the trading area. And I think we need to visit one more person. Benedict's out. So these villagers are useful if you'll engage in conversation with them daily. They'll sometimes give you gifts, and they'll sometimes give you recipes. Oh, this guy needs medicine. And we'll get an achievement for that. If you don't already know, the recipe for medicine is a hornet's nest and some weeds. So we're gonna help him out with the medicine real quick, and then we'll get back to what we were doing. So I think you need only 3 of these, but I'm gonna grab the stack, and then you need 1 of these. So we might as well make 2 of these while we're here. And if you use your left bumper and go to, oh, that's not what I want. Don't that have what I need for medicine? Or I don't have the recipe. Ooh, I don't have the recipe for medicine? Okay, that guy's gonna die of the flu. Tough break, dude. We don't have the recipe yet. Looks like Dylan's on his way in. How did you ever come up with that creative name for your island? Pro tip with dodo codes: do not put dodo codes on social media. That is a recipe for disaster. Even if you get nothing but nice people in, your server is probably going to crash. Oh good, he's got the mask on, so we don't have to worry about him giving us the COVID. Appreciate that, Dylan. We don't want the COVID. If you're just popping in, we're kind of wrapping up a playthrough episode. You can go back and watch this later. We got into how to do red and the art purchases. We also spent a little time talking about sport fishing. And now we kind of opened up the island to visitors, specifically my subscribers that are in my Discord. So we run down here and say hey to Dylan. And I'll show you why Dylan's coming. So not this area, but this area over here is an area that we opened up so that anybody could come and get an item that they need and leave an item that they don't need. And specifically, I think it's great if you can bring recipe cards, because that's something that's very useful, and then also fossils. So there's a couple fossils I put over here as well. So Dylan's going to have a go at this stack here. Let me say hey to Dylan real quick. We'll let him have a go at that, and then if someone else is interested, all you got to do is join the Discord. Let me pop over to the Discord real quick. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, enable notifications by smashing the bell. Drop a like and a comment. That would all be much appreciated. And best of all, tell a friend. Tell someone that likes this game, hey man, I saw this guy Tim over the weekend, and he's super helpful. And he's giving away free stuff. Okay, so we got shells, we got plant a fruit tree, we got to spend some money. And that's, by the way, is why I have this little stash here. These are all stacks of 10 shells, so I don't have to run back to the house. And now I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to spend 5,000 bells on. This is kind of hard to do early game when you don't have the clothing store, because at some point you just end up with a lot of junk you don't really need. So I always buy out this part of the shop, because once you see something here, it may never come back again. And if you've bought it before, you can get more of the same through the Nook shopping network. And the other thing I do to spend money so I can get that achievement is I go over here to the flooring, and I don't know if this will let you buy the same thing twice. No need to tip me, man. This is all part of what we're doing. In fact, if you leave a tip, I'm going to just give it to the next viewer that pops in. The best thing you could do to show your appreciation is leave a recipe card, or maybe a fossil for the next person. You might put the one thing that someone really, really needs down in that little fenced area and make their day. So you could leave if you had some recipe cards or fossils. Looks like you already dropped one over here because there was only 4 earlier. So we got the saber-tooth tail now. I don't know what people are looking for, but we got several recipe cards in here. Got a bunch of different floor and wall coverings. But you can just pop in here, see if there's something you need. If there's not, no harm, no foul. If you got some extra stuff you'd like to give to someone that needs it, you can drop it. Alright, so we need a pond skater and 5 bugs. Let's get to work on that. We'll leave Dylan to it. So I'm walking the edge of the water right now to see if I can get a pond skater That's not it. That's the, what is he called? The diving beetle or something like that? You gonna come to the edge so I can catch you? Yes, you are. Thank you. What? Get in my net. Diving beetle. The pond skater looks like a little mosquito. Okay, that's not happening. And all my flowers are over here, so we should have a ladybug or something to catch. No? Interesting. And there's some more flowers over here. No bugs. So what I usually do when I have trouble... Oh, there was one back there. Oh, he's right here. So if you're having trouble seeing something like a balloon, or maybe finding a bug, what you can do is come all the way down to the bottom of the island, and then tilt your camera so you can see all the way in the distance. Unfortunately, this game doesn't let you turn your view. You're always looking north. But if you'll come down here to the bottom of the island, and you can kind of see all the way across. Get in my net. It's a locust. Need 2 more of those. We still need the pond skater too. There's a bug. That's a blue bottle. Don't really need that, but it'll help me get my 5. Ooh, that's new. Get over here. Got it. That's the Agrius, I believe it's called. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. So we're running here and give that to Blathers before we forget. And eventually we'll do another tour through the museum. Quite frankly, my museum is nothing to brag about at the moment, but maybe there's a viewer that's got it almost filled out. I could tell you my wife, Chulita, she has, wait, did that donate? Why didn't you take it? I was talking and answering questions at the same time. Oh, that's what it is. Do I like your shirt? Let's look. I saw the Pokemon hat. Oh, you changed your shirt. Didn't you have a color? Oh, nice. Charizard, right? Isn't that what that's called? That's cool. And that's something else I look forward to getting into, is the customization with this game is just incredible. There's a couple people I'm following on Twitter that are doing some really neat stuff with the customization. Okay. So what we're going to do, because I've got to get some other things done before my Sunday's over, Dylan, we're going to kind of wrap things up. This is a good place for me to do that. So I'll let you head out. Yes, Charmander, I got it right. That's another game we may look into with this channel. I know very little about Pokemon. That's a little before my time. But I know there's a lot of viewers that could really help us to be pretty good at that game. And I think the newest one has a kind of a community element to it, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so while he's leaving the airport, I'm gonna real quick remind everybody, TexasTuberTim.com is the website. If you go there, you can get to all my things. You can get to my Discord, my Twitter, my Instagram, my YouTube channel, all the stuff and things. And these special things like coming to visit my island are all part of something we're doing in the Discord channel. So you'll need to subscribe to YouTube. And then when you join the Discord, just remind me that you did subscribe so I can upgrade you to subscriber status. And you'll have access to those secret messages, if you will, in the special chat room, so you can be part of that. Dylan says, thanks for the visit. I'll rate you with stars. I appreciate you, man. And don't forget to go back and put a like and a comment on the YouTube. that's something else I've pledged to do, is I'm going to respond to every single comment on my YouTube, at least until we grow. But for the time being, it's very manageable. So let's wrap things up here. I want to thank again Dylan for stopping by and for visiting the island. Maybe we'll come visit your island in a future stream. My good buddy Meowie Gamer, the first sub to the channel. And everybody else who's watching, maybe a little shy and didn't dive into the chat today, thank you so much for stopping by. Let's roll the music, and we'll see you next time.